A major blow to transparency, a dangerous precedent to hide financial mismanagement at state-owned entities, and a trigger for corruption. Hello, I'm Jane Dutton. This is how some political parties see the decision to exempt Eskom from declaring irregular and fruitless expenditure. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana allowed the exemption for the 2022-23 financial year and the next 2 years. Why? Most parties believe this opens the door for more corruption. The EFF will be approaching Parliament's Standing Committee on Public Accounts on the matter, and Action SA has instructed its legal team to interrogate the legality of the exemption. Western Cape Premier Alan Winde says this will further aid corruption there and will be a major setback to meaningfully dealing with the energy crisis and fixing Eskom.
It looks like finding a system or a way in which they can get away with the rampant corruption and thievery that's happening within the organisation. And this being done by Treasury.
Imagine not having any electricity at all. That's the reality for 44,000 people in the northeast KwaZulu-Natal municipality of Umhlanga. It is the least electrified spot in South Africa. The Mineral Resources Department puts the percentage of the country with access to electricity now to nearly 90%, leaving 10 to 12% without. An Eyewitness news team travelled to the Mozambican border, and this is what they found.
One of the key objectives of the National Development Plan is to provide universal access to electricity by 2030, but this looks a way off in Umhlanga. Khumalo says it is possible, but he himself describes Umhlanga as one of the most behind municipalities in South Africa and says a lack of electricity compromises safety and security and hinders the development of the area's huge potential for ecotourism.
Ngizalelwe khona nje la. Kade ngivele kunjeni nje. Akukho kushintshile ngaphandle kwezindlu ngoba abanye ngibona bathola izindlu njengoba nazi lapha. Ngiyabona ama-RDP.
I'm blessed and highly favored.
What does he know that we don't? The words of disgraced Tshwane Mayor Murunwa Makwarela in the dock in the Specialized Commercial Crimes Court. Makwarela handed himself over to the Hawks. He faces charges of fraud in connection with the dodgy clearance letter he produced to try and prove that he is not an unrehabilitated insolvent. He's been released on bail of 10,000 rand.
I'm feeling blessed and highly favored.
Even though you are in the dock?
I'm blessed at all times. I'm blessed going in, I'm blessed coming out.
And what do you say to the charges that you've been charged with right now? Serious charges, it's fraud.
I'm blessed and highly favored.
What are you expecting from today's court appearance?
I'm expecting justice.
Cancer cases across the planet are on the rise, and the WHO stats show that lung cancer is the most fatal. Our medical researchers are working at enhancing treatment methods, in particular of non-small cell lung cancer. Kevin Brand went to see their work at the Itemba Labs campus in Stellenbosch.
Advances in medical science hold the promise of improving diagnostic tools and sharpening treatment methods to offer doctors a greater pool of techniques to draw from, and they strive to give patients a better chance at survival. Kevin Brand, Eyewitness News, Cape Town.
Yet another hurdle in the inquiry into suspended public protector Busisiwe Mqwebani's fitness to hold office. Money. Mqwebani says the inquiry cannot proceed without her legal representation. Her legal team, led by advocate Dali Mpofu, said last week that it cannot continue to represent her due to non-payment of legal fees. Acting Public Protector Koleka wrote to Mqwebani informing her that the office cannot continue to foot the bill beyond the current financial year, which ended at the end of March.
Make sure that we work and we get the resources so that we can proceed with the legal team. The process cannot continue with the legal team, and I wonder why the legal team will even entertain this.
A woman behind a deadly blast in Russia that targeted a top military blogger and supporter of Russia's campaign in the Ukraine. This was the scene of a cafe in St. Petersburg after the explosion which killed Vladlen Tatarsky. A gift statuette was loaded with an explosive device. A 26-year-old woman has been arrested. It's not the first time Daria Trepova has been in trouble. She was placed under arrest for 10 days in February last year for taking part in a demonstration as Moscow launched its offensive in Ukraine.
So help me God.
And despite claims of a witch hunt or political persecution, Donald Trump is heading to court tomorrow.
Mr. President.
Becoming the first US president or former president ever to face criminal charges.
The President of the United States.
From real estate developer and businessman to launching clothing lines, cologne, and even the Trump University.
But this is what the end result is.
It's a spectacular fall for the 45th President of the United States. The charges relate to money he paid to a porn star to keep their affair in 2006 quiet. While he may not be handcuffed tomorrow, Trump will be fingerprinted and his mug shot taken. And we'll be watching. That's it from us at EWN. I'm Jane Dutton. Like and subscribe.
Eyewitness News. In touch, in tune, and independent. For the latest, log on to ewn.co.za or ewn.mobi.